From the 19th of July 2021, we will have a fresh new look on AMTV. Bringing you all the top news stories from every corner of South Africa and the rest of the world. Stay with AMTV News because we are your eyes and ears.
Well, the South African government is planning to start the extradition process to have Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife returned to South Africa to stand trial.
The extradition process of Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary is now underway in Malawi. That state has filed its court papers ahead of the...
This is one question that will continue to linger on for many years to come. Tomorrow, the 4th of May 2021, will mark exactly 6 months when Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary slipped through South Africa's borders with no traces. As a country, South African authorities are still struggling for answers for this high security breach. 2 weeks after this escape, Minister of Justice Ronald Lamola did not mince words when he said government will do all it can to bring them back to South Africa to face the full rigors of the law.
But within the next, in terms of the SADC protocol, we're expected to file papers within the next 30 days to then file for the request for the formal extradition. We have set ourselves a time frame with all the law enforcement agencies to file these papers within the next 2 weeks.
Government spokesperson similarly said government had begun the process of extradition of the Bushiris with the SADC protocol and was confident that they will be brought back as soon as possible to face the law.
Indicated in our statement that we have started the process of extraditing Bushiri back into the country using the SADC protocol of extradition between the neighboring countries, and that process commenced. One of the requirements actually is that we need to obtain the warrant of arrest so that it then forms the basis of applying for the extradition. So that process was started over the weekend, and we will be briefing South Africans where the process is.
Ms.
But
Williams.
yes, I confirm that we have started that process of extraditing Bushiri back into our country.
Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula waded into the matter and vowed to find Prophet Bushiri and bring him back to South Africa. However, the energy, the verve, the drive with which officialdom pursued the Bushiri escape, which took place in November 2020, appears to have died down. The attraction and the commitment seems to have dried up from the initial impression created that the Bushiris will be brought back to the country as soon as possible through the SADC protocol and Interpol. The Interpol arrest in Malawi was foiled and labeled inappropriate by a high court in Malawi. The SADC protocol, on which South Africa pinned its hopes, has all but hit a snag.
Okay, the South African government is relying on the SADC Treaty as the basis for extradition. Now, the SADC Treaty provides that it will only be binding if it has been ratified according to the constitution of the respective states. Now, Malawi, as much as we signed the treaty, we have not domesticated it, meaning Parliament has never passed a law that it should be part of the laws of Malawi. So we're asking this court to dismiss the extradition request, but because this is a constitutional matter, the constitution must interpret the SADC protocol. That's what we're not comfortable with. At this stage, as long as we have satisfied the court that the matter relates to the application of the SADC Treaty, which is not domesticated in Malawi, we're good to go to the Constitutional Court.
South Africa has to rely on an agreement it had with the Malawian government in 1974. Now, was South African government properly briefed on the whole extradition process? Were authorities speaking from a perspective of facts and figures or from an emotional point of view? South African legal experts have succinctly spelled out that it is impossible for the Malawian government to let go of their citizen.
Reverend Bushiri is a very clever, very well-informed gentleman, because what applies here is the SADC protocol on extradition. And if one looks at it cursorily, one finds provisions, Article 4 in particular, which will prevent Malawi from extraditing Reverend Bushiri, because Reverend Bushiri will probably never receive guarantees of an impartial trial in South Africa. He's invoking Article 4 of the SADC protocol, and it's totally in his rights to do so. So he may have the last laugh. The Malawian government will simply say, well, we can never extradite him. Our hands are tied by the SADC protocol. Whether they are going to be forthcoming or not, time will tell.
How much of a research work went into this subject for state authorities to be fully confident of an extradition as soon as possible when the Bushiris fled the country, and for which reason South African taxpayer was made to believe that the Bushiris will return to the country as of last year? Extradition, according to experts, takes more than a year at most. So for authorities to create the impression that a taxpayer should be at peace is of extreme concern. It is also concerning that we cannot guarantee this at our border posts as a country, because until this day, it is unclear how the Bushiris fled South Africa.
But I'm not going to tell how he left now the country. There are several stories, but the government this afternoon, through the spokesperson of the government, DG Williams, they have put the fact to say did not go with the president of Malawi. Well, also I did ask the police, who have assured me too, that it was not through the flight or the aeroplane of the president. So that's what then we need to know exactly. How did he then leave the country? We have spoken, as you said, to Dr. Mtswaleti, that all of us will have to be briefed to find out exactly what happened.
At this stage, the country's interest is waning. Parliament appears to have given up. The citizen appears to have forgotten about the escape of the prophets on the 6th of November 2020. Why has the interest of officialdom waned? These questions will be urged on the minds of many if the extradition of the Bushiris does not happen.